Hi, this is John and welcome back to my channel. You know, more often than not, I'm lately having to do videos or choosing to do videos about videos that I've done earlier, and either to clarify or to expound on some of the subject matter. And one of the ones that really struck me, as well as some of the comments that I got, a lot of them not public, by the way, had to do with the men over 50 and TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, or hormone replacement therapy, whichever way you like to say it. But we can just call it hormone replacement therapy, right? Whether we're talking about men over 50 or over 40 or just at any age. If it's been determined that there's a need for hormone replacement or testosterone replacement therapy, let's just call it TRT from this point forward so I don't get confused on this video, right? So if there's been determined a need for it, then by a physician and with your physician, then by all means, that's always been my case, that you should do it as long as there's an actual need and it's not based on your sense of losing your physique, or if you've used steroids and hormones for years and years and then suddenly you've stopped and then you go and get tested. Well, it's a surefire thing that you're going to test very low hormonally, and you should give it a lot of time to try and bounce back naturally first. However, I don't want to go too far off the subject path here, but I'm going to keep it straight to it now. And that is these messages that I received and some private messages, they dealt with, men. And one of the big reasons that is not mentioned too often is depression, as far as the actual need for TRT. So that's what I'd like to cover today. I did a little bit of research, and I mean not a lot, because to be honest with you, on my end, I don't suffer from low T or from low hormone levels or any of the associated side effects or indications that you may need to supplement with higher testosterone, additional testosterone. So in my own case, since I didn't have an interest in it way back, I didn't bother researching much. However, in recent times, it led me to go and take a look, and also to rely on my physicians. I have a nice team of physicians who I work with and bounce ideas off of, whether they are clients, whether they are just physicians who I know personally, and in discussing it with them, as well as doing just a simple internet search. You can do that and look up what the Mayo Clinic has to say about low testosterone and TRT, and you'll see that there are some primary reasons or indications that you may have low testosterone. You might want to get checked. And here is the thing: the order in which they list these things, okay? Decreased sex drive is probably the #1 most often listed reason for testosterone replacement therapy. And it's also probably the majority of men going in to discuss such things with their physician, that they have sexual dysfunction, they have erectile dysfunction, and certainly that is a good indicator, okay? However, as I looked up and continued to read and look and see all of the symptoms of low T, buried at the bottom of the barrel, and I mean right down there near the bottom. They covered everything from decreased sex drive. They covered bone density, a concern, especially in older men. Body composition changes, obviously higher body fat. These are all indicators that you may have low testosterone. Loss of muscle strength and loss of muscle in general, whether that's from lack of use or just aging and low testosterone, it's another indicator. They even talk about HIV patients and AIDS patients having an inability to generate higher amounts of testosterone. It impairs their testosterone production. So there's a need for supplementation, and how TRT helps all of those populations. But buried near the bottom of that pile is the word depression. Depression. So this is very real. And where men are concerned in general, I mean, I just want to talk to you, especially the men right now, and saying that you know how a lot of us can be. And we suppress a lot of our feelings and emotions. And a lot of that has to do with how we were raised. A lot of it has to do with what the expectations of society in general are upon us. And especially if you're an alpha male, I mean, wow, we can keep things in. So my point being that there may not be as many reported incidences of a man going into their physician and saying, look, this is what I'm dealing with. Because they may be thinking that their physician is only dealing with the physical problems. But depression, and certainly, a mood depression, no sense of well-being. I mean, just everything just seems to be off. Those are definitely reasons to visit your physician and discuss the possibility and get tested. Get tested. See if that testosterone is naturally falling off or low or lower. Maybe get tested today, but then go and get it checked again, a few months down the road, 6 months, a year down the road, just to see, is it falling, is it dropping, or is it just already at rock bottom? Certainly a great reason to get TRT. So this thing about depression, and you, my brothers out there that suffer from it, number one, it's not an admission that you're any less of a man in any way, shape, or form to suffer from depression. I know that there's a lot of brothers out there who I've spoken to on the side, not publicly. And man, from my heart, I mean, I feel for you. And as I was getting into some material for this video, or making this video, I realized I can't wait. I was gonna, make it and show it and save it for, I don't know, about a month from now. And I realized, I have to do this right now. Because if there's even one man out there who literally suffers from depression or even suicidal thoughts, then it's very important that this gets addressed right now. Check it. Check it. It's very important that you go and get it checked. Get your testosterone levels checked. Overall hormone panel, request it. It's not something that your physician is going to offer to do. It's something that you're going to have to demand or request from your physician. So it's a very real situation. This is not situational depression. It's hormonally induced. Hormones are powerful. And it does take an admission that there's a problem. Even if you don't admit it to your wife or to your significant other, and you just want to go and get yourself checked, make an appointment and go get checked, it's worth doing. So I'm urging you from the bottom of my heart to take the time out. And if things are off, if your family is telling you that you just seem really off in recent times, and you don't really know why, if you think it's everybody else but you, here's a sure indication. If you think it's everybody else but you. Now, I'm not a psychologist, but I can tell you I know people. And in my business for the last 33 years, I've spent a lot of time around a lot of men and a lot of women, but I've heard some of their private thoughts. And when I hear that one phrase, it seems like it's everybody else. It's everybody else's problem but their own. It usually means it's their problem. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean that there could be a physiological problem. So again, a great reason, and I'm going to put up some visuals if I haven't done it already on this video, showing you how even a simple search on the Mayo Clinic, mood and depression are ranked rather low on the list of reasons why you may need TRT. So in this video, we're prioritizing it. We're jumping it on up to the top, right next to sexual dysfunction and erectile dysfunction. I know that I can make any list I want on my videos, so I'm going to keep that one near the top now and say, guys, some of the major symptoms of low testosterone and the need for TRT. Sexual dysfunction, depression, hello, depression, it's right up there. So that is worth ringing a bell over, worth looking at twice, worth taking the time out of your schedule to make that appointment and go see a physician. And man, look, as always, You guys are welcome to comment right down below. On the right-hand side, you have the subscription button. Please, if you like these videos, subscribe to your right. Give me a thumbs up on your left. And then feel free to comment down below. Any additional comments? I only, within the scope of these videos, I only have 5 or 10 minutes to knock out, any sort of a quick discussion on these things. But in the comments section, we always get it done. So feel free, drop a few comments down there. Let me know what you're thinking and what you think of this subject matter. And, hopefully, if any of you guys are in need, desperate need of having your testosterone checked, desperate need of speaking to somebody about this, then you'll consider what I'm saying. Get to your physician. Don't just think about going to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but get to your physician and have that hormone panel checked. Okay? And that's it. From my heart to yours, John Hart. Thank you.